The floor beneath me just vanished. 1 second I was standing on solid ground. The next, I'm falling, plunging into darkness until my boots hit a hard, metallic surface with a clang. I'm in a train car. The dim, fluorescent lights flicker erratically, throwing these long, dancing shadows across rows of empty seats. But wait, not all of them are empty. There are shapes slumped in the chairs, completely still. I take a hesitant step forward, trying to get a better look, and that's when the entire train lurches violently. In perfect, terrifying unison, every single figure snaps its head toward me, and I see their faces. They're all me. Dozens of versions of myself. Some are older, some younger. One has scars I don't recognize. Another is missing an eye. A few are wearing clothes soaked in what looks like blood. They're all staring at me, and their lips move, whispering the same chilling phrase over and over. Don't lose again. I stumble backward, my heart pounding against my ribs, just as the train's intercom crackles to life with a burst of static. A cold, synthetic voice announces, "Next station, total erasure." That's when one of them stands up, a version of me with hollowed-out eyes and skin as pale as ash. He starts walking toward me, his face an emotionless mask. "Why are there so many of you?" I manage to choke out, my voice trembling. The whole me just smiles, a dead, empty smile. Because every time you lost, every time you forgot, a version of you stayed behind. The walls of the train car feel like they're closing in, squeezing the air from my lungs. How many times have I played this game? I demand. He leans in so close I can feel his icy breath on my cheek. Enough times that you don't remember asking that question. The train screeches to a halt, the sound of metal grinding on metal piercing my ears. And then they all start to rise. Every version of me, getting up from their seats, their whispers growing into a deafening chant. Don't lose, don't lose, don't lose. I can't stay here. I turn and sprint, shoving my way through the oncoming crowd of myself, and slam my shoulder into the door at the end of the car. It bursts open and I fall through, tumbling into a blinding, painful white light. I land hard on a rooftop, the impact jarring my bones. I'm overlooking an endless, sprawling city of neon lights and towering skyscrapers. But something's wrong. The sky above me is glitching, tearing apart like a corrupted file. And then, huge digital numbers materialize in the air right in front of me. Final level. 10 minutes until complete memory wipe. Final level. I mutter, my breath catching in my throat. A second timer appears right below the first one. Damage taken equals memory lost. And then, one final message. My objective. Find your past. How? I scream at the empty, glitching sky. How do I find something you already stole from me? A voice, soft and strangely familiar, speaks from behind me. I didn't steal it. I spin around. At the edge of the roof stands a woman, her hair flowing in a digital wind that I can't feel. Her face is hidden in shadow, but there's something about her, something that pulls at a forgotten corner of my mind. I'm who you were trying to remember, she says, her voice gentle. The game took me first. Suddenly, images flash through my head like broken lightning. Her laughter, her hand holding mine, her face, blurring into a storm of static. Who are you? I whisper, the question barely audible. You knew me, she replies, stepping closer. Before you ever played, you kept trying to win, to get me back, but every time you failed, the game erased more of me from your mind. I feel a hot pressure building behind my eyes, the sting of tears I can't shed. What's your name? The woman opens her mouth to answer, but the air around us crackles with static electricity. Her face glitches violently, pixelating and tearing apart like a bad video feed. She lets out a scream of pure agony as the entire world shatters like a broken mirror. A red warning message flashes in my vision, memory compromised. The rooftop tilts at an impossible angle. An invisible force grabs hold of the woman, dragging her backward into the fractured sky. She claws at the air, her eyes wide with terror. Alex, don't forget me again. I lunge for her, my fingers brushing against hers for a fleeting second before she's ripped away, vanishing like a deleted file into the digital chaos. I collapse to my knees, helpless. The timer hits 8 minutes. The city stutters, freezes, and reboots around me. And then a narrator's voice, dark and booming, echoes through the void. The more you uncover, the faster you forget. Finish the game, or lose everything. I wipe a trickle of blood from my nose, the copper taste sharp on my tongue. I get to my feet, my body aching. Then I finish it. I take off, sprinting across the rooftop just as massive walls of rock code erupt from the ground, forming a shifting, twisting labyrinth that rewrites itself with every step I take. And then they come, monstrous, Glitch-ridden creatures crawl out from the code, their faces a horrifying mix of pixels and things I almost recognize. Bosses I fought before, failures I no longer remember. One of them lunges, its touch searing my arm. The corners of my vision dim for a second, and I feel a piece of my past tear away, gone forever. I snarl, not this time. I fight with a desperate, raw fury I didn't know I had. Fists, steel, pure instinct. Every monster I defeat, every glitch I shatter, rewards me with a tiny fragment of a memory. Her smile, the sound of her voice, a brief flash of our shared apartment, the sting of our last argument, and the gut-wrenching moment she just vanished from my life. I had played this game before. I had lost. I had forgotten. Over and over again. Finally, I burst through the last wall of code and find myself in the final chamber. It's a vast, circular room filled with floating screens, each one showing a moment from my life. Some are broken, some are completely blank, and some flicker painfully, on the verge of disappearing. In the very center of the room, there's a throne, and sitting on it is another Alex. This one is calm, confident, his expression cold and unfeeling, the version of me who had one. You made it farther than usual, he says, his voice dripping with condescension. But you know how this ends. I clench my fists, my knuckles white. Give me my memories back. He smirks. They're mine now. I played better. I survived longer. I became the version of us worth keeping. You're not real. I spit back, my own voice raw. I'm the one the game chose. The whole room trembles with power as the throne Alex stands, his eyes glowing with a brilliant white light. You lose this fight. I take the rest of you. Everything you ever were will be gone. I don't hesitate. I charge. We collide like the halves of the same soul, mirrors striking mirrors, our fists cracking through light and code itself. Every blow I take makes the world blur. A memory of a birthday party, gone. A childhood friend's face, erased. My first day at school, vanished. Her smile, gone. The loss of it hits me like a physical blow, and I stagger backward. The throne Alex sees his chance. He grabs me by the throat, lifting me off the ground. Goodbye, Alex, he says, his grip tightening. My vision starts to go dark. Desperately, my hand fumbles in my pocket and brushes against something small and metal. The locket, the one object that has stayed with me through every single memory wipe. With my last bit of strength, I rip it open. Inside, a photo dot is her real face, the real memory, and everything comes rushing back in a violent, overwhelming wave. The love, the loss, the crushing grief. The day she disappeared while I was lost in this game. The guilt that consumed me, the reason I entered this digital hell in the first place. The throne Alex freezes, his glowing eyes wide with shock. You remember? My fist blazes with a new light. Not a code, but a raw, reclaimed memory. And I strike. The throne Alex fractures like glass, splitting apart into a million pieces of shattered data that dissolve into harmless sparks. The throne vanishes. All the screens around us go black. A new message flashes in front of my eyes. Memory restored. Game complete. A portal of pure white light opens in front of me. I step through and I'm awake. I'm in my bedroom, sweating, shaking, my hand clutching the small metal locket. My memories are intact. They're mine again. But then, the controller on my desk lights up. A question appears on my monitor. Play again. Why yes or nitrogen monoxide? I whisper one word. No. The screen flickers. The text shifts, morphing into a new, terrifying sentence. You don't get to choose. The controller vibrates violently in my hand. I scream as my world dissolves into pixels once more, and the game begins again.